There's actually lots of misconceptions about geology. Yes, geology is all about rocks. Apart from that, geology is also understanding about how the mother of nature behaves. What we are trying to do as a geologist is we're trying also to understand how the extractions of gold, fur, aluminium, and of course the world famous black gold, which is oil and gas. So we need to understand how the natural of the science behaves and how the process behind this. So this is our geology.
My love for geology just come from being outside. I am a nature type person. I love to go to the sea, forest. I love to go for hiking. This is just because I love to feel the environment, looking at the mother nature, how does it forms, looking at the greenery. But when I got the offer to further my study in UTP Petroleum Geoscience, I never thought that I will really experience this again when I go for a field trip, when I go for a geofield camp. So after all, my hobby has become my career. I'm glad that I did Petroleum Geoscience in UTP.
Being a six-star university in UTP means a lot because you have nothing to worry about having the best professors, especially in geology. Not only that, you have the best facilities you can think of, especially in the petroleum geoscience related industry.
The geoscientist's job is a bit like a detective work. So he gathers the samples, the sparse data, put it together, he tries to interpolate and extrapolate to build a model of the probable past scenario. My working responsibilities has taken me twice around the world to meet all the stakeholders, to do the meetings, deliberate the business operations, make some important decisions. Apart from the traveling, you have to involve lab work, a lot of discussions, throwing of ideas, so that all these important elements can decide on the analysis to find the results that we require. Here in UTP, our excellent facilities and experienced esteemed lecturers will help to prepare you to be the best in this field. Our leading university culture, research capacity, and industry stewardship will help prepare you for the job market. And with our 7-month internship program, the longest in Malaysia, UTP will make you industry ready. To date, we have racked up a commendable success rate of our students landing their desired job in the first year of their graduation. The job demand is high, the job scope is awesome, our program is interesting, and the culture at UTP is one in a million. So join us at UTP. Together, we will dream up new possibilities.
Right. Assalamualaikum. Good evening to all. Welcome to UTP webinar series. This is series number 19 for Petroleum Geoscience, a closer look into geological world. I hope that everyone is in good shapes and condition. I do hope this session also finds you well. Today we are going to have a little sharing about geoscience, right, of UTP. Let me introduce first our panelists. We have first our lecturer from Department of Geoscience, Mr. Chong Chi Meng. Please say hi, Mr. Chong Chi Meng.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Chong Chi Meng. So I'm the lecturer, one of the lecturer in Geoscience Department UTP. So nice to meet everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Chong Chi Meng. We'll get back to you after this. And we also have Miss Praveena Arumugam, the alumni, class of 2018, Geoscience, right? Currently a graduate engineer at Repsol Oil and Gas Malaysia. Please say hi, Praveena.
Hi everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thanks.
How are you?
I'm good.
All right, that's good. That's good to hear. And another one, the last one, we have Farah Ashura Azmi, currently the 3rd year, just almost finishing her intern. Currently in 3rd year, just finishing intern in geoscience. Say hi, Farah.
Hi, everyone. So I hope you guys are doing great tonight, and I can't wait to have a fruitful session.
That's good. All right, good to know. All right. Thank you, our panelists, and me as usual, as your moderator. I hope that you are not getting bored of me being your moderator for most of the sessions for the past 19 webinar. All right, we've done 18 webinar series before, and this is the 19th one. We have special sessions in another few weeks. All right, in fact, this Saturday we have another session, a special session. All right, we'll talk about that later. Tonight will be a discussion and also a chit-chat about geoscience department, I believe. And the house rules is very simple. just turn off your mic and also camera if you're not talking, except for the panelists. All right. We'll be having this chat session for 1 hour. All right, before we open for Q&A. You want to ask question, you can just toggle the raise hand icon there, and I'll call you upon to ask question. At this and along the way, if you wish to ask question, you want to have a chat with us, please, at all means, just write everything in the chat room. Ask question, our team is in there, all right, to address to any of your question. Okay. All right. I don't wish to have a very long introduction. We've seen the little video about geoscience, and let's go. Let's have a little chat with the people of the geoscience department itself to know more about the program and also about the department. Let's go first with Mr. Chong Chi Meng. Mr. Chong Chi Meng,
Yes.
maybe you can share with us a little bit about geoscience in UTP, Petroleum Geoscience program in UTP. Maybe a little background and introduction, please.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So with the explanation, I think better I show you in the slides. So there's some more information over there. I'll elaborate on that. Let me see. Which slide is it? This one. Okay, so basically UTP have, of course, we have a lot of program offered in UTPs. So we have Geoscience Department, and Geoscience Department offer Bachelor of Science in Petroleum Geoscience. So we have only one bachelor program under Geoscience Department, which is we specially offer Petroleum Geoscience. It's a 4 years program, and in 4 years you are going to study 12 semesters. To complete the whole program. And this 12 semester, including 2 semesters of internship, one of the longest internship program we have in Malaysia. And of course, there are different kind of requirement to complete this program. So there are several. So totally you need to complete for 139 credit hours in 4 years, including different kind of groups of subjects. So common core discipline, those are the subjects that really related to petroleum geoscience or geoscience subjects. Core specialization as well. Others is just the elective or some additional subjects that needed in university, or either is Malaysia government is setting those subjects. So I show you a list of the subjects that you are going to learn if you enroll into these programs. So I show you some of the list over here. So the subjects, if you enroll into the Petroleum Geoscience Bachelor program, if you are enrolled as you are enter foundation program in UTP, then you enter into first year, then you will study this. Otherwise, maybe you are coming from the STPM or matriculations. Then after you get the result and fulfill our requirement, then you can enter directly as first year student of our bachelor programs. Okay. So we have first year or second year, basically you are going to learn more on the general geoscience or general geology subjects. Those subjects, basically you are going to learn like physical geology, mineralogy, or geophysics. Those subjects is fundamental of geology. So basically you are going to learn about minerals and rocks, basic of geology. And other than that, mapping also one of important subject, fundamental subjects. Structural geology also the same. Structural geology basically learn about the deformation of the rocks. So all is the fundamental subjects. In the semester 4, 5, 6 is second year. Basically you're starting to touch a bit on the more specific subjects, more detailed or more niche subjects. You are going to have like organic geochemistry. Basically, geology have different kind of disciplines. Physics, chemistry, biology as well. But of course, we don't study the real biology. We study fossils. So fossils we call paleontology. So we have different either physics, chemistry, or biology. You are going to learn somehow a little bit here and there. So chemistry you are going to learn. geophysics subjects, you are going to learn seismic methods, non-seismic methods, to study the subsurface of the Earth, because a lot of the information are at the subsurface. So we use this method to study the subsurface. After that, you are going to learn more specific subject related to oil and gas, like petroleum engineering a little bit, and as well as the seismic interpretations. Basically, these all are the oil and gas related subjects. Then later on, you're going to go to internship in the third year, so 2 semesters. Then after you come back from internship, you are going to enter 4th year, three more semesters to go. Over here, you are really learning about the oil and gas related subject, well logging, 3D visualizations. And in the final 2 semesters, you are going to select the major. Means in the Bachelor of Science, we have several major you can choose. One is really focusing on the basins. Another one is focusing on the exploration geophysics. So 2 are the main stream. So you choose either majors, and then you will study focusedly on these 2 subjects. So, and then you complete your study. So I think that's it. A little bit about our programs. If you want to know more, you can visit our website, or as well as you can ask us, ask me as well. Yeah.
So for the 139 credit hours, how long is it going to take for the student to complete all those 139 credit hours? How many years?
4 years, basically 4 years.
4 years.
By no accident, no anything. Yeah, should be 4 years. Yeah.
Right, that's good. That's good. All right, I want to bring the discussion to Praveena. Praveena, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the journey that you've joined UTP before. We want to know more. Where were you schooling before? What was your academic background or standing during that time before you joined UTP? Was UTP your only choice, your first choice, or how? What happened back then? And was geoscience the only program that you are aiming to do so? Please share to us.
Okay, hi. Okay, a brief introduction about myself. I'm Praveena. I'm a girl with big dreams and ambition. I come from a very small town, Kuantan, but currently it's called Bandaraya Kuantan. So going to college with a scholarship was my ultimate goal. That was my mother's dream too. My parents were not very fortunate in terms of having education when they were young, and financially not very well to do either. Therefore, I pushed myself to be a holistic student, balanced in both studies and sports. So I'm from Sekolah Harian, like normal school. If anybody knows, SMK Abdul Rahman Talib in Kuantan was a kind of smart, yes, smart. So it was a kind of school that encouraged students to go for placement after the SPM trials. So I had I think SUKMA 2012 in July, and the next one was trial, and I got my result, and I came back to school. It was like a bit clueless when most of my friends were already planning to go to A levels and also applying for colleges. So I was not actually aware of that you can apply to universities using trial results. So it was in a counseling room, and they were having talk advice on which other university you can go, and so I overheard the name University Technology Petronas, UTP. Till that point, I have no clue where and what is UTP. So I applied to UTP and some other colleges. Coming back to the program that I choose, that is more like, since I was young, very young, I always want to be a scientist. So that is my ambition, and that is still my ambition. So when you ask me to be a scientist, what kind of scientist I want to be in engineering direction. So I web searched about UTP. I'm not sure if I used Google or not. I think I web searched UTP and I came across the programs. And I think petroleum geoscience was definitely love at first sight. It was petroleum geoscience, and after you graduate, what you'll be called petroleum geoscientist. So that was just on the spot, I already made my mind. So I started reading the prospectus, like what Mr. Chiming was showing. I came to know there was two majoring. That was basins and exploration geophysics at that point of time. So I continued my research. I don't know, somewhat I stumbled upon in Google web search that geophysicist works in NASA. So no second thought given. I straight away put my first option as petroleum geoscience, and my second option was petroleum engineering, and third option was chemical engineering. And there and then I decided my major. So I came to UTP interview and all went well. I loved the place, of course, the IRC, the library, the mosque, everything went well. So it came to a decision-making time where I have to finalize between two options, a tough one. I was offered in KYUM and for A level, and in UTP it was foundation engineering in UTP in petroleum geoscience as per my first choice. So that's I need to make the call. I mentioned before, financial comparison is crucial in the living cost, the fee, and other uncertainties like getting a scholarship to continue your degree or getting PTPTN. So I did consider some advice from family and friends. I spoke to one of my friends' parents, like kenalan, like acquaintance, about oil and gas industry and the courses I chose. Finally, I chose UTP, and we took a bus, my mom and my cousin brother. They dropped me off in UTP, and there my UTP journey kicked off.
If you don't mind me asking, what was your result, SPM result back then?
9A plus 1A.
Oh, you're a high-performing student. That's good. That's good. All right. Anything else that you want to share to us in terms of your journey in UTP?
Journey? Oh God, it's a very long journey actually, from Kuantan to Perak.
All right, save that for the next question. Similar question, Farah. Farah, maybe you can share with us how did you find UTP and how did you choose? Josan was like after the SPM or after your study, earlier study, the first thing in mind, I want to do geoscience. Was it like that or how? Maybe you can tell us a little bit your journey to UTP and joining geoscience, please.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Farah. I'm a third year student here in UTP. So to be honest, I didn't even know UTP existed back then. But I wanted to take geoscience. It was something that it was my choice and I wanted to pursue in it. And my mom's friend actually suggested me to look into UTP because they have like a specific subject for geoscience. So I did. I went through their website. I liked what they had. So I applied and got an interview, passed the interview, and right now I'm in my third year going to my final year.
Are your parents currently serving in oil and gas industry?
No, actually not at all. The majority of my family are like in finance, accountancy, and like in that kind of area. So they were really surprised when I told them that I wanted to do geoscience. A lot of them got confused between geoscience and archaeology even, like they weren't even sure the difference.
It is something very rare, isn't it? It's rarely
it's something really rare.
Program. Where were you schooling before?
In just a normal school, it's literally just right behind my house. So
what
it's
school
a normal public school.
Sorry?
I don't know if you heard. It's a normal public school, not even like a prestigious normal school.
What is the name of the school?
SMK Bandar Sri Damansara.
Oh, Bandar Sri Damansara. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
No, the point is because why I asked this question. We usually people thought that if you want to join UTP, you need to come from a very prominent school, maybe like MRSM, boarding school, international school. But it seems that it's not only that. We can see our panelists coming from. I don't call it ordinary school. I call it just. Sekolah harian. From my side, there is no such thing ordinary school or extraordinary school, kan? School is called school, kan? All right, interesting enough. Let me go get the discussion back to Mr. Chong. Mr. Chong, maybe you can tell us. Geoscience basically is being offered widely in other universities and institutions. Maybe some other universities or institutions they actually offered geology, or some universities offered geophysics in specific. but maybe you can tell us what differentiate, or maybe you can tell us what are the unique things that you can find in our geoscience program that make us any different from other universities program of geoscience.
Okay, sure. So I think I will also share a little bit the slide over here. Actually, our program, our program over here. Of course, our program is petroleum geoscience. So actually, we are quite oriented with the oil and gas industries. A lot of our syllabus are coming from the maybe suggestion from the expert in oil and gas industry. So that's why a lot of subjects can be directly applied in the work, like well logging, basin analysis, those subjects which rarely teach in the undergrad level. Normally, this kind of petroleum geoscience normally are offered in master level, but we are quite special. We directly offer in the bachelor degree. And other than that, our syllabus is really industry oriented and oil and gas oriented. But other than that, we also have a lot of connections with the industry. For example, such as like the lower one, we have industrial visit. Before the pandemic, actually, we usually do a lot of visit to KL because a lot of oil and gas companies are there. So we have a lot of chances to visit the company, see how they work. So this is one of the visit we went to one of the geophysics companies in KL, 2019 that time. Sometimes we also invite the lecturer, actually it's the industrial expert, to come to UTP to give some lectures to the students, maybe give 2-3 hours lectures to our students to share their experience to the students, like how to apply the knowledge into the works, okay, relevant to the subjects. As well as also we offer a lot of field trips. Of course, I think geology program definitely we offer a lot of field trips to the students. We also the same in our syllabus also offer field trips like to do mapping field work, okay, in the nature. So we need to do some recording, some sampling, do some analysis on the site. Yeah, this one is Praveena. I took her pictures. She was my student before final year. So she's collecting the data, gravity data, 2-3 years back, this one, when she was in final year. Other than that, we also got invitation from other university to go to their countries to do a field work. Also, it's a lot of this kind of activity we can see and we can join. As well as the student conference is almost like annual activity we're going to do to connecting not only other university as well as industry people. So we really have a lot of connection with the industry, like visit other universities and also the society, the learning society, the professional bodies. We also have some connections, join the competition, join the events. Student exchange, also one of our famous programs. We really encourage students, UTP students, to go to other university to do 1 semester exchange. Of course, if you fulfill the requirement, we are going to give you the financial supports. Partially, of course, depends on the needs. So, and then you can go to another country to do 1 semester exchange student. So it's a good experience. As well as some mobility activity, we also will conduct. And for this example, like we went to Indonesia with a group of students, attend a short course over there and do some field work, like as normally geologists do. We do a classroom activity as well. So I think there's a little bit specialty in our programs in UTPs. So I think it's quite enriched, these things. So hopefully,
you see various learning experience in terms of the way of learning is we have field trips, you have adjunct lectures, you have some more trips of getting sampling from other places. That is very interesting. In fact, I was in your trip for a few times last time during my time in geoscience also, isn't it?
I think yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Mew also coming from geoscience program, right?
All right. So, I miss the old days actually. Let's go to Farah. Farah, we want to know what is a day like being a geoscience student. Maybe you can share to us your class arrangements. Maybe you can share to us what were your involvement, kan? Is the class is very packed? Maybe you can share to us what is a day like of being a geoscience student.
Okay, so for my batch, most of our classes are like 3 to 4. I mean, most of classes are 3 to 4 days a week. So we're pretty free. Like sometimes even in between classes, we will use that free time to go bowling or whatever, because it was just really free. And our classes are really modern. It's memang macam selesa lah kan, because we don't have a lot of students. Like my class we were only like 27 people. So everything is really easy, and the lecturer is very like it's a one-to-one kind of situation. Like we can understand a subject just because they're like the classroom is really big, really comfortable. The air conditioner is really cold, so remember to bring a hoodie or whatever. So for the learning situation, I really love it. I feel like there's no like that's one of the things that I miss about UTP. Like right now we're doing online learning, right? And we can't go to class. So it's been really hard just staying in your room. At least in class you have your friends and all that. So even if you don't understand something, you can just ask your lecturer, and the lecturers are really responsive, and they will show you, like if you don't understand something, sometimes they will have specimens that they will show you right in front of you. So it wasn't really a problem. Like it was easy to catch up and all. So yeah.
So how was your class arrangement? Is it basically quite packed in a day? Is it the 8 to 5 classes every day, or how? What was the arrangement?
No, we usually have classes at around 9 a.m., like 9 to 11. Then we have like a short break for your lunchtime and also prayers. Then we will continue till 2 until 4. So it's only like 2 or 3 classes a day. Sometimes you only have 1. So we have a lot of free time, and we will use the free time to go to Oval Park, which is one of the parks in UTP. You can use the free time to go, I don't know, swimming, kayaking. You want to play basketball. Like UTP has a lot of sports facilities as well. So you use that to your advantage as well.
I see. What clubs or society did you get involved with throughout your time? I think you started your study back then as a foundation student. I mean, you are in UTP for 4 years already. So what were the society or clubs that you joined so far?
So during foundation, I wasn't really that active because you know you're new there. It's a new environment. You don't really know people, so you weren't that involved. But I did join one club in foundation, which was EAGE, which stands for European Association for Petroleum, Geoscientists and Engineers. It is a student chapter. Then I continued taking that up until my degree, and I also joined. I also participated in AGSE. Just now, Dr. Chiming has shared us a photo of AGSE, which basically stands for Asia Geoscience Student Conference and Exhibition. And he already explained that just now. And other than that, I also participated in like volunteers for bigger events like APGCE, which stands for Asia Petroleum Geoscience Conference and Exhibition. And that is usually held in KLCC. It's once every 2 years. So we would go to KL, book a hotel or book an Airbnb there, and we would go to the event in the morning and then come back in the evening. And that's mostly like my clubs and events that's academic related. However, in UTP, there are a lot of clubs and events that you can join. It's not just academics. However, academics does bring a lot of advantage to you if you're taking that specific course. Well, for other clubs that's not academically related, I also joined like GNC, which stands for Global Network Club, and we basically handle and accept exchange students that come to Malaysia, specifically UTP. So like I handle French student, I handle Indonesian, I handle Japanese, I handle like Germans, we had Americans, we have Canadians. So we basically show them around UTP, help them and become their friends for like one whole semester. So yeah, that's one of the things that I really like about UTP is the culture where students will get themselves involved in clubs and activities. Like no matter how busy you are, or no matter how quiet and if even you don't have a social life, you don't have friends or anything, each student in UTP that I know of always has at least one club or one event that they join. So that's
they have
a
something
great culture
to do every single day.
Yep, like every single day.
All right,
So
that's
yeah.
very interesting. Praveena, maybe you want to share. You've left UTP for like what, 2 or 3 years. Back then in 2018 you graduated. Maybe there are certain memories and also things that you miss the most. Maybe you can also share your journey, not journey, I can say your student experience of being a UTP student, please.
Yep. It has been almost 3 years. I left UTP in end of 2017. Graduated in 2018. So memories in UTP, it's without doubt I can say the one memory that I miss the most is the field trips. So as a geoscientist, geoscience student, you have a lot of memories in terms of field trip. So especially, I'm not sure how is it now during COVID situation, but for us, the class of Jan 2013, it is always learning from outside the classroom. So we had like regional field trip, geological field trip, geophysics field trip, my FIP field trip, East Coast field trip. There's almost every semester you have a field trip, and it's like it's either a day trip or it's a 2 weeks long trips. So I think that would be one thing that I will definitely miss. And going to field trip, yes, apart from learning, what's the best part is the bonding with your course mate. You live like a family almost for 2 weeks with your course mate, with your lecturers, with lab tech, and also RA and GA, and that's like kind of berkampung macam family tu. Like if I remember correctly, it was a field trip to Kedah. If I'm not saying the Gunung Jerai field trip, I think we had to stay in this PLKN kind of hostel, macam kena berkampung kat satu hostel, and then kena mandi beramai-ramai. Then yang perempuan tu berkempan lah, like those yang pergi berkemah tu, they will know lah, like how does it feel to be in that situation. And that's where I actually, that's kind of a memory that you will not forget. And I still remember in Kedah is where I actually start to know about this one kuih Korea, goreng panas-panas, you makan like, I don't know, somebody told me it's called kuih telinga kera or something. So, I mean, see, it's still in my memory, like clear, like what it just happened yesterday. And other than that, we also, as mentioned, we also had like international field trip. I think during my time, we had opportunity, the AAPG student chapter, they organized Indonesia field trip to Indonesia. That was also a very good exposure, I would say. I mean, you don't get that exposure all the time, especially for a geoscientist. I think you can mostly learn from outside the classroom. So that was few memories, and definitely we had Harminder, my close friend, more like a brother, and also the class rep. He's like a bridge between the lecturers and also students, making every single field trip a success. Like everything will be taken care of. So like I think we as a student, we always lepak late night eating in our 24 hours McDonald's Iskandar or Farouk. That is normal. But for Jan 30 Geoscience batch, I think we lepak almost around Peninsula Malaysia. Kat Cameron Island, makan strawberry, kat Temellow ke, kat RNR ke. That is the fun part of geoscience. The bonding is not just with your course mate, but with the lecturers, lab techs, and RA.
Maybe you have something to show to us. We want to know. We can have a good vibe of listening. Maybe we want to know more.
I can.
Yeah.
Let me just share my screen quickly. Can we see the screen?
Yes, you can see.
Okay, so this is my class rep, Harminder. He's the guy who makes sure everything is done. And this is the field trip that, under Dr. Chiming's supervision, we did gravity survey. It's me and Dr. Chiming standing. It was a geophysical field trip across PD to Kuala Lumpur. We were doing gravity survey. And this is geo quiz. I think this is myself, my classmate, Jai, and also Farida and Cherisa. And this is late Dr. Prof. Deva. And this is geological filtrate carbon. We did see carbon. I'm pretty sure that's carbon, carbonate. So I'm not sure if it's in Ipoh or in Jerantut, but somewhere. And this is our class dinner. And my classmate and us, we still cherish the moment. Until today, we talk about it. And other than that, okay, this is another memory of myself that I do miss. While I was in UTP, UTP gave me the opportunity to have this club, UTP Athletics Club. So when I joined UTP, we didn't have a proper athletics club or a track and field club. So UTP gave me the opportunity to be the founding member of this UTP Athletics Club. And it's just a small family of us, mixed ratio. South Sudanese, Mozambicans, Indonesians, Turkmenistan, and also the local athletes. We grew up to be a family, and we did achieve a lot along the way. This memory is very personal to me because the club is still standing there. And this is my first Sukip medal for 1,500 meter. And this is our best sports movement, and this is also opportunity given by UTP to actually go to Indonesia to participate in a road race. This was in Bali Beach Run, and this is Milo Run, and this was Mahasiswa. So we managed to form this little family to actually represent UTP, and we have notable athletes who represent Sukma in UTP under Athletics Club. That is, yep.
Were you one of the Sukma athlete for your state?
Yep, I am ex-Pahang state runner. Yeah.
Right, that's good. That's good. Oh, we can see that not your journey, meaning to say your experience and your journey in UTP doesn't limit to only about geoscience and your program activities, but we can see that there are several other activities that you did during your time, isn't it?
Yep.
It's very interesting. Mr. Chong, maybe we want to know more, our audience want to know more. Before we join geoscience, what need to be expected? Meaning to say, some courses, they have a certain, meaning to say preparation in terms of their knowledge, in terms of their mental, or maybe some physicals like field trips in geoscience require you to have some proper physicals capabilities. Maybe in geoscience in general, what the students need to be prepared in terms of their knowledge and some other things that you might want to advise before taking geoscience in UTP.
Okay. Thanks for the questions. This one is how to say, because geology is a subject that it's not like engineering. Engineering mostly are mathematics and physics. You need to be strong because a lot of things are related to those. But geology are touching here and there, a little bit here and there. Like if you go to geophysics, of course, your physics and mathematics need to be somehow at a certain level. I'm not saying you need to be super good, but at least if you good in maths, then your life will be easier. Otherwise, you probably have some tough time when you go through those subjects. But of course, the level not going to be that high as those in engineering. But a lot of the skill I think is needed is the observation skill. Like I think I looking at the chat box over here. Like Miss Huda is one of our lecturer in geoscience department. She also helped me to answering all the questions, and as well as Dr. Cairo over here. So observation skill for me is one of the important things because like Praveena say, like a lot of things we are learned from the field. So means you're observing the rocks. So a lot of things are require your observation skill. Although that one is not like you can done it in one night or something. Like you need to go oftenly go to the field, do your own observation, do your own thinking, and then checking the book, and then come back and then do a few more times. Then probably you're getting better. I also in learning, although I already learned geology like for more than 10 years, I still learning. This thing is never ending. So yeah, I would say probably our subject is still a bit more related to maths and physics. You still need to have some certain level for that because we have quite a lot of subjects are related to geophysics. So this one thing. other than that, like I say, maybe stamina also one of the things that you need to take care. At least field work also give you a chance to exercise your body rather than always sit in the classroom. Like Praveena is very successful because she even enter SUPMA, those things. So I didn't really know her until I supervised her in FYP. Actually, I didn't really know, wow, she is so powerful. Like represent state to go athlete or those things, and then they perform so well in SPM. Actually, I totally don't know until I supervise her only. I thought, wow, you are like really high performance student. So it's like, okay, but good for her because she is really perform, and then as well as she enter a company, and then she also done a master degree already. So and going to further study again. So it's like, wow, I also respect on her. It's like good. So I think that's it for the sharing. I think. Yeah.
So, Praveena, Mr. Chong was your final year supervisor, is it?
Yes, he was my final year supervisor.
I see. What did you get?
It's an A.
All right, that's good. What about other subjects? Did Mr. Chong taught you any other subjects?
Yeah, he did. Because I think he joined a bit later. I think I was halfway through in second, third year. So he was assisting another doctor, Dr. Wei. So he was teaching us stratigraphy and sedimentology that, and then he was also in mineralogy class and all that. But for FIP, he was covering more on geophysics, integrated geophysics and geology.
What about Farah? Did Mr. Chong taught you before?
Yes, he did. He taught me once for structural geology. Not mistaken, yeah. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, like most of the students go through my subject. Structural geology almost every time is me.
Yeah.
I see.
And he was also the first one who brought us to a field trip.
I see. Oh yeah, the field trip is always with Mr. Chong also. That is a good memory. Farah, maybe this is a quite tricky question. What is your favorite subject so far being in geoscience?
My favorite, it's gonna sound kind of like cliche probably, but I actually really like Introduction to Geophysics during my first semester. And the only reason why I liked it is because they had a chapter that was related to like planets. And growing up, I actually wanted to become an astronomer first. So that was like really interesting, learning the physics between like the planets and all that. So I actually really like that just because of that one specific chapter.
I see. Miss Huda in the chat section is saying you should like seismic. So are you looking forward for geophysics specialization towards your final year?
Well, I'm still deciding.
Thinking. All right.
Yeah, but it's more towards geophysics for now.
Okay. What about you, Praveena? What was your favorite subject throughout your studies in geoscience? It's a tricky question.
Not really. I told you earlier already. I was interested in geophysics from first year to the last year. I was only geophysics.
I see. So you know what you are looking at before. All right. I want to bring discussion to Farah. Farah, you are currently doing your internship. Maybe you can share a little bit of your experience in an internship journey. Where did you go? What did you do? And can tell us a little bit about the internship experience.
All right. So I'm currently interning with Petronas. However, my department hasn't stepped foot in the office at all. And tomorrow's my last day. So out of the 7 months of internship, I've only been to the office once. And that was only like 3 hours to get the laptop. So my experience wasn't that much because I've been working from home. And it was really hard to adjust because, again, it's a new environment. You don't even know your coworkers. You've never seen them face to face. And the work is all new. Like, you've never had experience working in an oil and gas company. So it was really difficult for the first 3 months, like trying to just adapt with everything. But along the way, it got easier and easier. And yeah, I think it was a good experience. It was an interesting one, doing everything from home, but it was a good experience.
Which unit were you in?
Come again?
Which unit or which OPU were you in?
I was under Center of Excellence and actually under Petroleum Engineering. However, my Petroleum Engineering department is more towards project management. So I didn't really do like engineering stuff, and there was also like 2 guys in my department who were the geologists for that PE department. So they taught me a lot about geology and all, like to relate it with the industry.
I see. Praveena, you're currently a graduate engineer in Repsol Oil and Gas Malaysia. Maybe you can tell us a little bit what do you do and how did you end up in that area of work? It's quite interesting. Maybe you can share also to us from geology to an engineer.
Okay. So briefly, I think I need to start from the background a bit. So when we graduated in 2017, oil price was not doing so great. It was about $50-$60, not as bad as what happened during the pandemic struck, but it's about $50-$60. I think it was still a tough time to secure a job. So when I was doing my final year, I decided to pursue my master's upon my graduation, just to upskill myself to be better for the market. And the plan was actually to diversify away from oil and gas industry. That was the main plan, but life happened. But anyways, I completed my degree at the end of 2017. I graduated in November 2018. Meanwhile, waiting for offers, I volunteered to do research assistant under Dr. Chime for about 3 months on the same FIP topic as extended version. And that was about January to March 2018. Well, offers does take time to knock your doors. Then I wanted to upskill myself on non-seismic or near surface geology method. So I joined like a short unpaid internship, but with abundance of knowledge. But the thing is, reality is that moving from uni life to real working life, you need to really need to have the money to survive, right? So what happened was, at one point of my life, I was actually working 3 jobs per day, which was I did part-time in Burger King, and I was working with this internship company and on non-seismic, and I was also helping them out to do surveys and all. So then we applied for this Repsol Masters Program, and I also applied to some other universities. I was called for Repsol Masters Program interview in somewhere in March. Juggling between jobs and preparing for interview was to think about it today, it's actually quite tough. So it took quite some time for them to evaluate you. I went through like about 3-stage interviews, quite a number of interviews. And on May 3rd, see, March was the interview, April was the interview kind of thing. May 3rd, I was boarding AirAsia to a conference in Thailand with my friends. I think I did manage to impress Repsol, and finally, in after this multiple stage of interviews, they offered knocked the door. I received the email in the flight right before the takeoff, just before I was switching off my phone to the takeoff. I could not believe myself. So coming back from the conference, it was I had 3 offers actually. I had partial master's scholarship for TU Delft, University of Aberdeen, with partial scholarship, and Repsol was offering full scholarship and job security. So again, considering the financial capabilities, I choose Repsol. So that's literally how I ended up in Repsol.
So how long have you been in Repsol until up to now?
It's 3 years, 1 year master's from September 2018. Therefore, I missed my graduation in November 2018. I could say the master's program was a very comprehensive master's program. It was almost 4 years of PE syllabus comprised into 10 months scope. And I specialized in RE and geoscience. We had field trips to Canada, both onshore, conventional and unconventional field trips. Even geological field trip also included. And it is really very comprehensive. We had students across the globe: Bolivian, Peruvian, Arubian, or Spain, Guyana, Libya, many people. And to highlight this, it was 5 hours from Malaysia actually, represented Repsol Malaysia for the scholarship in Madrid. And 4 out of these 5 graduates who went for this master's program, 4 of them were UTPians. So I would really want to highlight that, because I think it's quite a proud moment for a UTPian. And it is another treasured world-class experience I had for sure. And upon completion, August 2019, which is exactly 2 years since I joined Repsol as a graduate engineer. So the graduate engineering program covers from planning, operational, drilling, production, and well integrity, and it's like a bird's eye view of the oil and gas industry. So I did realize my potential as an integrated professional. And oil and gas, I would like to highlight again, oil and gas is not a standalone industry. I believe you need to know a little bit of all the discipline, like reservoir engineers need to understand GNG, geoscience, and GNG has to understand drilling and production engineering. So here I am as a graduate petroleum engineer.
Okay, interesting. So now you are working from home or going to office?
Working from home since March 2020.
So you are based in HQ, Repsol, Citibank?
Yep, I was based there, currently in Kuantan, my hometown, because since March 2020, we didn't step into the office.
So they allow you to work from home, even from hometown?
Yep.
All right, that's good, that's good. Mr. Chong Chimeng, from the story of Praveena about as a graduate engineer, and also we can see Farah is doing about project management. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about this job prospect that geoscience students can actually explore into. I mean to say, upon graduation, where can they go? Is it only oil and gas industry, or maybe other areas of industry? Maybe you can explain further to us.
Okay, I think I will use the slide again to do my explanations. Yeah, like Praveena and maybe Farah, they are doing in oil and gas industry, either for intern or for real work. Okay, so industry, of course, petroleum geoscience, we study this. Of course, our primary career path normally will be petroleum geoscience. And actually, petroleum geoscience also subdivided into many different disciplines or different positions. Like Praveena is a bit more diverse. He go into the engineer's path. Okay, and then of course, in general, in petroleum geoscience, you probably work as a petroleum geologist, the more general one. Of course, inside there, actually, once you enter geology, you will know there is actually a lot of position inside there. A very niche area that also got people to study, like the one that really studied was tiny fossils. Yeah, those things also got people to study. Study the chemistry also got, like petroleum geochemists. So there are a lot of positions. Either you are working in we call it onshore, offshore. Onshore means you're probably working in the office, working in the lab, do the analysis. Or offshore, maybe you need to go to oil rig. Oil rig, then maybe you are collecting sample, you do the on-site observations. So of course, that condition will be more challenging, but of course, the pay will be higher as well. So other than that, actually, other opportunities like actually conventionally, geology is working for mining, looking for gold, looking for other economic minerals like tin, like Peninsular Malaysia used to have a lot of tin. Actually, we still have a lot of tin. It's just like the prices is not that profitable. The market price is not so good, so that's why not many people mine for it. So that's why it's not many activity going on. So mining, so you can be a mining geologist, looking for the economic mineral, looking for the reserve. Like sometimes people are really talking about the rare earth elements, those kind of things. Normally exploration is done by the geologists. Of course, those are the more precious minerals or more precious elements. So you also need someone to do the more daily kind of minerals or ores. Like iron ore is quite common. Like a lot of places have this. Iron also is quite high demand, but depends on markets, market price, those things. So, and as well as those, like you see in Ipoh, you see in KL, or somewhere you have a lot of limestone quarry. So those also have some geologists working on it, like doing some quality kind of or reserve calculation kind of works are also needed some geologists to do so, or more management kind of works. So those are the mining. Third one is geotechnics. Quite a lot of my friends are working in this industry, means they are working together with civil engineering, constructions. So when you have no matter you are working on the mega project or small projects, building a high-rise building or working in a tunnel or railway, now we have a lot of railway, as well as MRT, those kind of projects, or even you just build a mosque, not only require civil engineer or not only require the architect, you also need some geologists to do the study on the ground, on the site. So you need some site investigation to know the mechanics of the ground, mechanics of the rocks, mechanics of the soil. So those analyses done by the geologists. So also, yeah, we also have some subject that taught a little bit about this. So if interested, you still can go to that direction. Last one, environmental. Environmental actually is not, it probably share with environmental science, environmental scientists. So looking on the maybe pollutions, water pollutions, or maybe those kind of soil chemistry kind of things that maybe will give the impact on the environment. So they will do some environmental impact assessment. So yeah, those also is a part of the geologist's job. Actually, there are more lah. So it's just like which part you are going, like Praveena and Farah talking about. Geophysics, actually, even you go to extraterrestrial, study on the moon, study on Mars, partly also done by geology because they are still rocks somehow. So they are actually quite diverse lah for geologists, or yeah, can apply in many places lah, I would say.
There are so many industries that they can explore for career prospect. That is interesting. Praveena, I want to ask you another question. In this during your time at UTP, I mean, how does actually UTP influence or impacted your life until that you are at this level today as a graduate engineer? Meaning to say, in terms of the exposure on networking and the quality of education that you get at UTP, have influenced the person you are today as a graduate engineer. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit to us.
Okay. I think in UTP 20th anniversary book, I quoted this exactly, like UTP offers a platform for personal development. Here, I have the chance to develop my sports potential, especially in athletics. The management has been very supportive all this year. I have been exposed to people from different cultures. I learned leadership and sportsmanship, and I'm being prepared for the current global environment. Here, I have found friends who make me feel at home and who have made me feel like family. So this is exactly what I quote in UTP 20th anniversary book, if I remember correctly. So I'm not sure what would happen to me if I took the KYUM offer, but I am very certain UTP did great in me. Especially like even this honorable invitation to be able to speak here today is to prove what UTP has given me, like the honor and appreciation. UTP gave me the education that my family longed, the first degree in my home. Though I didn't experience the graduation, UTP did supported and molded me to who I am today. UTP's academic kind of syllabus or courses are more practical or application based. I think one more plus point, like now, like currently I'm in oil and gas industry, is the exposure we have as oil and gas related university. So we have batchmates from PE department or mechanical engineering department. So all these people, when we talk to them, we have certain idea on what is the oil and gas industry is. So I would say in academic wise, it did give me a practical exposure. And other than that, UTP definitely polished and prepared or built a strong leadership personality for myself. The ability to speak up, the confidence, organizational skills, everything. I think what I possess today started from UTP. I am an introvert actually, but today I can talk here or anywhere out there, that is because of UTP, of the chances. I think how many times I had to host some events or to talk to, like when you organize an event as a project director or even a secretary, you need to talk to your team. How do you coach your athletics team if you don't talk? So definitely UTP did a lot for my personal development. It was not all academic in UTP. UTP provides numerous opportunity to grow and shine, build a strong personality. And one more thing is the oil and gas exposure. Definitely, I would say it did help me a lot today in my day-to-day work. Other than that, I mean it when I say UTP is my second home. It gave me the friend who are still here today. It gave me technically my ex-roommate who stand by my side till today. I have my ex-coursemate, Farida, as my diving, hiking partner, travel partner, and soon to be my future neighbor. So, yeah,
What do you mean by future neighbor?
like we stay same unit, like side by side. Just that pandemic just splitted us far away.
Too bad.
Too bad. And even my athletic seniors who are around the globe now, we are still in touch. And of course, lecturers, Dr. Chimin, I'm still in touch with him. If anything that I have issues or anything that I want to know, I always refer to him. And Abang Bob, I'm following him in Instagram. Lecturers who still remember you and who still in touch with you. Overall, UTP did make a person to meet the global job market, and the bonus is the good people I met. Our class group, PG Gen 13, is still an active group today.
I see. So UTP actually helped you to build a better personality of yourself until today, along the way, eh?
Yes, of course.
Praveena, if you don't mind, may I ask, are you a first child or the youngest or the middle one?
The only child.
All right. So your parents are actually feeling much, I think, what we call senang hati lah to see today that the only child that they had is actually succeeding in the career. That's good.
Yes.
That's good. Okay, Farah, you went for internship. Actually, I can see is you went for internship because you're going to end the internship tomorrow. You went, I think you started the internship back then in January. Am I right?
Yes, in January.
Before that, you did manage to experience online classes during the early stage of pandemic last year. All right, means you experience that. Not unlike Praveena, didn't manage to experience that struggle. Maybe you can tell us a little bit, share to us the challenges that you face and how did you overcome the challenges of online classes during pandemic. In fact, including the time of your internship. Maybe you can share with us.
All right. So when the pandemic happened, it happened in March, right? So I actually experienced studying online for 2 semesters, and 1 semester is like 3 months. So for the first semester, it was great, honestly, because you're studying from home. Like you can eat whenever you want, you can eat anything you want. So it was really fun. Like, everyone was really oblivious of what was actually happening. So then, tahu-tahu, it's already 3 months, and then during the final year, actually, was when I started to kind of lose my mind because we were just stuck at home, and we had to study online, like looking at your screen almost 10 hours a day, just studying, and then just doing everything on your screen. So it was really difficult towards the end, but we didn't really have a choice, because if we wanted to go back to campus, we can't, because that's just how it is right now. Like, we can't be mad at UTP for not wanting to open a campus. They're doing their best to keep us safe, right? However, for my second semester, I actually still study online, but on campus. And this is because I had lab, not because I just went without permission or whatever, because my class had lab, so we had the access to go to campus. So I stayed for campus for that 1 whole semester, and it was so much better. Even though it was still online, at least I had my friends. So if I didn't understand something, or if I were just bored, I could just go to their room and talk to them. Because the thing is, like between studying online and studying face to face, studying at home, you're not only a student, but you're also a daughter or a son. So you're trying to like catch up on your studies, focusing in class, doing assignments, quizzes, exams, but at the same time, you still have to make time for your family. You still have to do chores. You still have to, like do whatever you usually do at home. So you're juggling all these tasks, and so it would become really difficult, especially when your internet is not good and the noises like the background noises is too much that you can't even hear what the lecturer is talking about. So to say like how I overcame it, I didn't, because this is just something that we have to go through. But what made it better was when I got the chance to go back to campus. So I guess I was fortunate enough in that sense. I mean, it was still bad, but at least I was just a student in campus with my friends.
So
yeah,
you
that's
did,
the only thing.
you did manage to came back to campus. Where was it?
For my September semester up until December.
What was like during that time? Was it quite restricted in terms of course, it's restricted in terms of movement. But during that time, is it still okay? Meaning to say you have meaning to say mentally motivated to still studies there, is it?
Yeah, actually, it made it in terms of studies, it made it so much better because you can study with your friends. So you didn't feel lonely. It didn't feel like you were struggling alone, because let's be honest, like even though in class we say like, oh, we understand, it doesn't mean that we understand 100%. So at least with your friends, we can like study together, ask them like, oh, do you remember about that other class and all that? So it made the whole studying process so much easier. It didn't feel like you're alone. It didn't feel like whenever you're stressed out, you can just go to your friend and they'll be like, oh, I'm stressed out too. Let's order Food Panda or something. So, it just made it so much easier.
So physical class is still the best.
Yes, physical class definitely is still the best. But then that's not UTP's fault, right? Because I feel like even if UTP invests in holograms, it will not beat studying in class. Yes. So I guess it's just something that we have to live through, and we just have to find something to motivate us every day.
Let's pray that things gets better, so we can have next semester physically. And actually UTP, even I think Mr. Chong and the rest of your department actually misses all the students, isn't it, Mr. Chong?
Yeah.
Ourselves felt very lonely.
Case maybe is probably okay because I still see Farah in the early first year, second year. I think a new student, now the new first year, some of them I haven't seen their face actually.
Pity them.
To turn on the camera, so it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. So it's a challenge for us, not only for students, for us also have lecturers, teachers, to teach the courses effectively to the student. Also not easy for us because like sometimes they are not really respond. Sometimes they are thinking or they are doing something. I don't know. So
you don't know what is happening on the other side, is it?
Yeah, you're not really sure sometimes if they are not turn on their cameras. So even turn on, sometimes I still don't know what's going on, whether you're focused or not, right? So it's okay. But
actually, this brings me to the next question for you. How actually the department help and assist students to overcome these challenges and also the challenges that you've said? Maybe you can share to us.
Yeah, I think we try our best for this. Maybe it's not the best solution, but we provide several ways to help students understand better. This one. For example, we have an academic advisory kind of group. So every student have some assign some sort of advisor or some sort of mentor, like lecturer. They are lecturers. So if you have anything, not only about academic, maybe some of the some other issues, for example, communication issue with other lecturer or something, so you want to get another advice, so you can ask the lecturers. Actually, any lecturer are willing to help as long as they are comfortable with them. So we always will try to assist them, help them to solve the problem. Advisory group is one of the thing. Maybe you learn as well. So we try to put all the materials that available, make them available in one platform, easy for them to access. And then hopefully that one will be help better. Although of course this is not always the best solution, but we still try to compile everything in a more nicer way so that they can probably easier to understand. Maybe the class arrangement, maybe we also sometimes we split the class into smaller class in the lab, so that within the smaller group you can have more focused discussion between the group members. Group member can discuss first. Later on, I will like go in and out, go and check every groups. Then probably can have more better way to for them to learn, and then for me to easier to teach. Sometimes I also use WhatsApp lah, because like sometimes I teach structural geology. I think for those who learn geology, structural nets is like structural geology have lab works, which is drawing. So you need to draw in the hand. So I want to see their works, how they done, how they do. So I just ask them like you draw first and then you snapshot, put it in a WhatsApp. I have to look lah. So that's all I can do to help like to know their progress or whether they really know how to do or not. I think we try our best like use all the modern communications tools to know their progress or know their learnings. Yeah, something like this.
So there's also, I believe, a one-to-one consultation for to a student to the academic members.
Sorry, come again.
There's also a consultation, one-to-one consultation for the students with academics.
Yes. Actually, every semester supposedly have consultation meetings or something for the students, like maybe one semester once with the advisor and the students. So to know whether they are doing well or not. Maybe some are not so proactive to like know to show with some of the students are quite shy, so they are not like willing to proactively engage with others, tell their issues. So we also have these meetings to let the student to voice up in these sessions something.
But then the baton is passed to the lecturers to be proactive to chase the student, ensure that they actually study. Is it?
Both way lah. These things I think sometimes lecturer also need to step out, although if a student not step out, then we just step in something like this.
Certain extent need to be made. All right. Actually, we have come to we are at 10. We are not 10:12. Maybe any question from our fellow audience? I can see Praveena got a fan already in the comment section. I can see. Maybe we have any question from our audience. You want to ask any of our panelists about geoscience, about the student experience? Maybe, please. If you have any question, don't be shy. You can turn on your camera and also your microphone to ask question. Please, anyone, any of the audience? Let's take maybe one or two questions before we end the session. But meanwhile, maybe I can take attention to question from the chat. Dr. Chong, this is Mr. Chong. Basically, this is a question that I can see that. Oh, we have a question from Chu. Can I ask? The 5 years? Do we need to do the student need to get involved with programming languages in geoscience? Does it involve all this kind of skills need to be obtained by the student?
I think in our program, there are programming classes offered in our program. Although this subject is not taught by the geoscience department, they are in charge by the.
But is it meaning to say the department actually requires such skills to understand better of the subject matters in geoscience?
Partly in geophysics, we are using some software to run some algorithms. So I of course that one will helps us a lot. I think in certain subject in geophysics, they are required to do some programming things. Either use Python or not Python. That's one thing. Because in the past we are more using MATLAB, but now I think we start changing to Python. I think especially one of the 4-year subject like processing, seismic data processing, they are using a lot of programming to help us to do the job. So somehow in these 4 years, a student are exposed to some of the programming classes programming exercise on this. I think definitely have lah.
Right. This is quite another tricky question. Maybe Dr. Chong, Mr. Chong can give a little heads up to our future student. What are the courses or subjects that they need to be beware of? We need to say is the hard subjects now.
Hard subject. Maybe I'm not the good one to comment because I'm lecturer and then I teach only one subject. And the one that experience actually is the students, no?
Okay, maybe I can bring the question to Praveena and also Farah. So far, Praveena, the 4 years of your studies in geoscience, what was the hardest subject that actually you went through?
But Praveena maybe so genius, no subject hard for her lah, maybe.
This is a bit tricky question. I'm thinking. I think it was 2 subjects. I think I had trouble. One was structural geology.
There's a lot of things need to be there.
Yeah, the dip and the strike. But it's not more about the calculation. It's more about trying to understand the structures and the features. And I think I did struggle a lot. And I mean, with Dr. Chiming, during the FIP is the time that I actually learned practically, where he points out the features and everything. Another subject was geostatistics, I think, GDA. That was another problem I had. I'm not sure why it's a maths or what, but I think it was brand new at that point of time. But yeah, these are the 2 subjects that I can say was a bit tough for me.
I see. Okay, what about you, Farah? What was the courses or subjects that you find is very challenging during that time, your time?
Well, almost similar to Praveena, structural geology was kind of difficult. But the most difficult for me personally, I think it's just because I have never been good at this subject. It's because it's geochemistry. I've never been good with chemistry. Like, I was really struggling with that subject. Every day I feel like crying because of it.
There's so many things to memorize, is it?
Yeah, there's so much. And I don't know, maybe my brain just can't accept chemistry.
I had that challenge too during my time. Geochemistry, I have a very hard time. But yeah. So to our students, a little heads up of the 3 subjects, right? Meaning to say you need to be prepared, mentally prepared to face the subject. I think let end the session maybe by addressing another last. It's not question, some advice that I want to ask from all 3 panels. Let's start with Farah. Farah, maybe a little advice you can give to our audience and future students about how they can decide and make decision in terms of choosing course program of studies and also the university of choice. Maybe you can share a little bit of your advice based on your experience.
All right. So when I wanted to choose my course, the first thing that I asked myself, like, what is something that I want to do, and in 10 years, I can still see myself doing it and be happy in it. Mm-hmm. So it was passion. Like, the first thing is passion. Always ask yourself, like, what are you passionate about? And I know this is really difficult to do, especially in an Asian household where your parents expect you to be a certain, to be in a certain career and a certain field. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if you, I don't know, like something with your parents, that's just something really difficult. And I understand that some people face that problem. But if you don't have that problem, please follow your passion. Because even if that job makes you a lot of money, a ton of money, if you're not happy in it, you won't survive. Like, you're going to go to work being sad every single day. You'll probably just be happy once for each month just because that day is payday. Mm-hmm. So follow your passion. Then secondly, I feel like we need, you have to know your budget. And I feel like people tend to overlook this. But budget is so important because I know a lot of people who studied but stopped halfway just because they couldn't afford to pay the tuition fees anymore. So, but it's not their fault because maybe they could afford to pay it at first, but then along the way, things happen. So please take note that financial stability doesn't mean it's financial security. So follow your budget, follow your family's financial situation. Jangan because that university is really good, you want to follow everyone. But however, it's okay to dream. Like you want to go to a good university, even though it costs a lot ke apa-apa. We can work hard. There's scholarship, there's sponsorships. In UTP, we have what? We have Yayasan UTP, we have Petronas scholarship and sponsorship, we have MARA, JPA, Peneraju. We have like a lot of options. So if you really can't afford to go to a certain institution, but you really want to go, work hard for it. Like there's always an option for that. So, and thirdly, I feel like to know, like once you already know what course you want to be in, you have to research which university, right? So just look up through their websites because there's always information about each course and what you're expected to know and all that. So see if each of those courses interests you in any way. And what I did specifically, I didn't only go to the website, but I also searched for the university's name on Instagram and Twitter. And who, like all of the students who posted things about the university, I would DM them directly and ask them, how's the life there? Just to get to know better about it. And from there, it really helped me make a decision. So yeah.
So yeah, three things need to be highlighted. See where you are in the futures, and ensure that you are financially stable. And the third one is also talking about make own research, basic research about your field. Right, that's good. Interesting. What about Praveena? Maybe a little advice to our audience and future students on choosing universities and program of study.
Okay. For me personally, institutions matters. So my advice is similarly to what Farah just said, is to do good research about the institution prior to applying. I had nobody to tell me this. But I'm sharing. Check the MQA, QS rating, the benchmarks. There are plenty of information in the internet. So I think institution does play an important role in securing a job. So we don't want to get a degree and go unemployed. So I think employers do see institution as like a kind of filter they have. So for example, like students from UTP has one of the longest internship period. I think that is very well known among employers, and they prefer UTPians in job market because of that longer practical knowledge they would have throughout the internship. And I do strongly believe that employers do consider institution as a part of hiring. Secondly, choosing the program. Okay, when coming to choose a program, if you're still in school, try to do a personality check on yourself through your counselor, or there are internet sites to do your personality check. Get to know yourself first, which is a suitable profile for you. Your interest over time does change. Many people have changed their interest halfway through, but it's okay. If doing this personality check, knowing yourself would give you or make things easier. For example, if you're really good in arguing or debating, I think if you want to be lawyer, that is it, lawyer. If you're good in singing, you can go towards singing. You're an athlete, go towards athlete. And I think recently I did volunteer in a mentorship program. I did tell my mentees to always do a SWOT analysis on yourself, like time to time, like know your strength, your weakness, your threat and opportunities, evaluate the pros and cons, and Google continuously. I also advise to cultivate the research skill because learning is a lifelong continuous process. So being here in this integrated industry, we do learn throughout our life. Finally, it's not all about going to college. It's about passion and the aptitude for learning. Trust me, learning does not stop. I started working, I'm still working, and I will be still learning in years to come. Yep, that would be a piece of my cake.
Very interesting. It's a lifelong learning. Analyze yourself and your interests. That's good. Finally, Mr. Chong, maybe some advice to our audience on the way of choosing.
Sure. Yeah, actually my opinion will be similar to Farah actually. When I was undergrad, when I choose also some sort of follow the interest, patience on the subjects. you need to like it so that you can continue to learn actually. Although of course this subject I think is tricky because you never really get in touch before. So yeah, maybe starting from the planet, those things, maybe you get to geology and this thing, then you get the interest from there. Then you will probably learn more. Although eventually, actually, I don't know, wow, this is what I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn fossil. Actually, I totally don't know. I'm going to learn those things. But okay, patience is one thing. Then the rest of thing, maybe, like Praveena say, institution, those things, some people treat it like important. Some people treat it like not so essential. But I think there are some points over there. People still looking at where you graduate. Although it's not a must you need to graduate from a good school or what. But people still first glance looking at a CV where you graduate, I think they'll still have some how to say first impression on that school. Whether this school normally is like this, that school normally like that. I think UTP have some style already they are good in communications. Yeah, those things. English they are good. Internship they are long. So I think that one will give some sort of good impressions, good impression to the employers. And then maybe it's one of the benefit for the graduates from here. So yeah, maybe these 2-3 points. Yeah, I think it's not a very definite point because I personally
very
also
subjective.
this subjective this thing, right? Everyone experience is different. So I think at least this is what I can see now. Yeah.
All right, I think very interesting the advice given to our audience. But however, we want to know more actually about geoscience, but time is not on our side. Maybe in future we can have a few other sessions about geoscience where we can include more alumni and also students to share in terms of their experience and also academic members to give a little heads up on the departments or the programs basic understanding and knowledge need to which can we forecast to the student. Thank you very much our panelists. Mr. Chong also have left his email in the section if should you have any question or you want to know more about the program, you can actually communicate with Mr. Chong.
Yeah.
I think
my pleasure, you can ask me. Yeah.
During this pandemic, our mode of working is more to 24/7 because we have nothing else to do. It's quite restricted for us to leave our home, but it's okay. We take it very positive. We have more time to do things at our home. All right. Thank you very much again to Mr. Tong, Praveena, and also Farah. It has been a very interesting session. And very informative. I believe that many are actually gain some additional knowledge about the program. And please know that we are not only live through this platform, we are also live in our FB Live registry page, FB page. All right. Till we meet again, I believe this is our last session of UTP webinar series, our closing. Thank you again. I do hope that everyone is safe and in good condition. Let us face this pandemic season. I would say it's a season, all right, which will end up being an endemic. All right, get vaccinated. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. I do hope to see you all in future, especially Mr. Chong. I believe we can meet every now and then. Praveena, Farah, looking forward to meet you again. Thank you very much. Thanks to all. Keep in touch. Stay safe. Bye-bye. Good night. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Praveena. Thanks, Farah. Thanks, Mio. Okay, see you.